Hey guys, what's up? PipSnipers here, back for another update. Let's take a look here at BTC. Now, we're going to take a look at BTC a number of different ways. But before we get into that, I want to show you guys something interesting that I found on the indicators. Now, I'm sure most of you have already seen it in the Telegram, but I just want to point this out in real time. Now, take a look here. The left pane is the weekly time frame, okay? If you take a look at this on the linear chart, you can see that 5 waves have already been put in here, right? There's no denying that we're within the 5th wave, okay? You could say that that's a fact, because if you look over here, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're in wave 5. Now, the question is which subwave are we on? When we take a look at this, it does look like this is subwave 5 of 5. This is your wave 1, okay? This was your first wave up in the market. Then you had 150 days of reaccumulation, which is a wave 2. Wave 3 is the largest wave, come down in a wave 4 for 6 months, and then you come up in a 5-wave move within your wave 5 of 5. That's my count, right? Now, take a look here at the 2-week MACD. It is turning down. It does have bearish divergence, so you have a lower high on the MACD, but a higher high on the price. And then if you take a look here at the, let me see here, at the weekly RSI, triple negative divergence, okay? So it's hard to see a bull run in BTC. I mean, we can take a look here at the middle pane. Now, the middle pane represents the monthly. And guys, I keep telling ourselves this. And the reason I'm telling you guys to continue to look at the monthly is because it's so important, right? Because Bitcoin can come all the way up here to 116. Sorry, let's take a look here at this right pane. If it wants to work right over here, okay? BTC can come all the way up to 116 for a C wave. Take a look here at the 4-hour time frame, right? This is your A. This is a clear 5-wave move, 1, 2, 3, or not very clear. Let's take a look here at the 30-minute. Let's see here. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your A, B, C. So this would be your A wave. This is your B wave. And now you're grinding up for your C wave. And this is going to be a 5-wave move up in your C. And this C can come all the way up to 116, just slightly north of the 50 and 100-day moving average. This purple and blue line. Sorry, this purple and pink line. So just over here and then come down like that. That's what you need to be cautious of. So on this small time frame, we can see a move up there. But I just want to point out that on the high time frame, it'll still look like a long-legged doji, right? You'll still have this candle of indecision. It would just come up here a little bit, but then coming back down to where it was, you'd still have this monthly candle looming over us. So it's extremely important to watch how this monthly candle closes on BTC. If it closes like a long-legged doji, exactly like this candle, where you have a small body in the middle, but then a long wick on each side, then it's very likely we're going to reach back down for these lows towards the 50-week moving average. Now, we can come down to the 50-week moving average. We came just shy of it. But in the case that we get a weekly close below this 50-week moving average at 102,460, 1 weekly close would likely mean that the cycle is done. 2 weekly closes below it would likely reaffirm that, okay? But the bullish scenario, okay, I must make you aware of the bullish scenario. Bullish scenario is instead of coming up in an ABC, what we had really was just a sweep of both ends of the range. This is your B wave, and then this is your C wave. You see how you sweep both ends, A, B, C, and then you come up above 116 to 117 around here on the daily. And then that would prompt a move to 134 to 131. But it's likely, even if we came up here, we would see a retraction back into the range, just judging by the way this monthly candle looks. So what would this look like on the monthly chart if the price ended up doing that? It would just look like this. It would look like this. You take out the highs, and then you just come back down. Like right up here, right back into the range. Do something like that. That's what you'd want to look for. Okay, and then if we end up going up to 131 to 134K, and the weekly still looks like this in regards to not only the indicators, but the way this candle is forming. Sorry, the way this structure is forming here. If we end up doing that, I think we'd get that retraction. So if the indicators are printing negative divergence, even if we went up to that 130, 135 level, it would be bearish, right? On the macro. Now, you have to ask yourself, bearish in what sense, right? Because I know most of your portfolios are altcoin heavy. Okay, if BTC gets above 116 to 117 on the daily time frame, right, you're likely going to come up here to 130 to 134. But in the case that Bitcoin does that, it's very important to monitor Bitcoin dominance, because if Bitcoin dominance is rising, like the way it's doing right now, let's take a look here. If Bitcoin dominance is still rising like this, and is above the 200-day moving average during the time that Bitcoin makes a new all-time high, if BTC pulls back from this area, alts are going to get destroyed. So that's why it's very crucial that if Bitcoin gets up here, right, Bitcoin dominance is below this diagonal trend line support. Because my bias is showing that, my bias in my analysis, considering it's holding this diagonal trend line, is that it's just going to continue back up. This move over here was just a mean reversion. And now we're going to go ahead and fill that wick. And this could have just been an ABC and a lower high. Like that. Okay, so very, very important to watch Bitcoin dominance as BTC moves. If BTC makes its way above 116 to 117 on the daily, it's likely we're going to go to 130 to 131 to 134. If Bitcoin dominance is racing towards the 200-day moving average during that time, or if even if it's above it, if BTC pulls back from that level, then it's likely that alts are going to get destroyed and make make a lower high, but a higher low. Okay? Now, the bearish trigger would be getting a daily close below 107.566. That would confirm bearish continuation down south of 100,000. Okay, this is a perfect power of 3 setup. This is your accumulation, this is your manipulation, and this is your distribution. And you can even invert the chart. And this would still be valid even if BTC made a new all-time high. Okay, so let's just monitor the range. It's still Sunday. There could be a lot of manipulation here, but we want to keep our eye on that 116 to 117K area. But more importantly, watch how this monthly candle develops, because it's super critical that this monthly candle does not close as a doji. Okay, this is the doji, long-legged doji. And you can see that every monthly candle, or even every 2 week, it did mark a top. The same thing could be said for the BTC top back in 2020. Here, that was a long-legged doji. This was another long-legged doji. This was your bear shooting star, saw a rejection down. This is your long-legged doji here. We could possibly see a rejection down. This was a red monthly candle, and we saw a 7-month long correction. Okay, so every time we got a red monthly like this, we got a long-legged doji here, red monthly, sweep the highs, and it just ended up being a B wave before you had a C wave down, right? So the high time frame always takes precedence over the small time frame. So while you may see price rise, it's very important to analyze how it looks on the high time frame as well, because you can, make a lot of bad decisions if you're trading on this, or if you're, looking at the small time frame only. You got to see what's happening on the bigger picture. Every time frame tells a story. Take a look here at the 2 week. The 2 week is just going up and down, right? Up and down, up and down, up and down in a range, right? So the 2 week is forming a doji as well. Right now, there's a lot of indecision in the markets. So it's also Sunday, so there's a lot. The liquidity is much thinner. And I will be posting a Bitcoin liquidation heat map photo in the Discord, so stay tuned for that. So those are the two scenarios on BTC. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Peace out and take it easy. I'll see you guys in the next one.